The day, December 14th, 2017. The time, 10:30 a.m. On this day, net neutrality will be voted on to see if it should be taken away or not. Now, you may be thinking, what is net neutrality? I've not even ever heard that word neutrality. And so have many people on Twitter. Because net neutrality is the #1 trending thing. So, our group here is going to come together and discuss net neutrality and why it is essential to keep.
This year's C-SPAN in 2017 was to deal with the congressional issues and how we feel about them. So, for our group, we chose the First Amendment. The First Amendment, and I quote from the Constitution, Congress shall make no law respecting the establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Neutrality. Now, how does it play into the First Amendment? Well, the Constitution, when it talks about the freedom of speech, that speech also includes what the internet is, a place that is free to communicate to anybody without having to pay for it. You do have to pay for an internet connection, however, that's just the equipment to accessing the internet. The internet itself is free. And what net neutrality is that idea that the internet is free, you don't have to pay for the websites you visit, in a sense that is monthly and slows and speeds up your internet.
Dictionary.com says that net neutrality is the principle that internet service providers should enable access to all content and applications regardless of the source and without favoring or blocking particular products or websites. That is a technical term, but allow me to paraphrase and help you out. The internet is neutral. Everyone can access anything they want without barriers or online roadblocks. If net neutrality is repealed, large corporations such as Comcast and AT&T can make paywall barriers, making it cost money to access certain sites. They can slow your connections to those websites. As an example, if you're using Netflix frequently and Comcast sees this, they can slow your connection to Netflix.
So, why is net neutrality important? Well, if net neutrality is to fall, the internet as a whole will change, and the landscape will be indefinitely different.
Okay. We're now pleased to present for your consideration an order that would set forth clear, sustainable, enforceable rules to preserve and protect the open internet as a place for innovation and free expression. The order builds on the views of some 4 million Americans who commented in this proceeding in response to the notice of proposed rulemaking that you adopted last May.
The footage you just saw was taken February 26, 2015, and was the FCC's vote to reclassify broadband internet under Title II of the FCC's Commission's papers. This Title II reclassification meant that broadband internet was free to anybody and always, which means that companies could not do the things that they want to do once net neutrality is taken away, such as making you pay for different websites. This brings us to today, where FCC is trying to reclassify that Title II into Title I again, so that way companies can modify the broadband connections that you have. After failed attempts to connect with congressmen and women, along with other artists and people of popularity in general, over their opinions over the FCC's reclassification of net neutrality, we decided to look at what people already had to say on Twitter. People such as Sarah Silverman, Bernie Sanders, Mark Hamill, and Mark Ruffalo. To summarize these tweets, most people would generally said that by reclassifying net neutrality to be Title I and letting internet providers slow down broadband internet, you're impeding on the creativity that the internet inspires, and overall impeding on our First Amendment right.
As for the side that would like to get rid of net neutrality, we emailed Senator Jim Banks. He got back to us, talking about how he appreciates our concerns, and discussing how in February of 2015, the previous FCC commissioners voted to reclassify broadband in the same category as a public utility under Title II of the Communications Act of 1934. Now, Ajit Pai, The current FCC chairman under Trump's administration is trying to take that away and has called for a vote to get rid of net neutrality.
Net neutrality affects us all, big or small. If the FCC is successful in the vote on December 14th, then it will move to Congress and could potentially be passed. It will affect our First Amendment right by removing freedom of speech through internet mediums. This is why Americans should be aware of it. And as always, thank you for watching our presentation.